It is now officially altcoin season. And you can also feel that with some altcoins like, for example, Dogecoin going up double digits today. But then we also have Cronos going down. Really, Cronos seems to have flatlined in the most recent days. So what is going on? Well, guys, I would say let's strap in and let's find out. This video is sponsored by Obsidian Swap. Trade like a champ directly on the Cronos chain. We've been talking about altcoin season for the longest time here on the channel, and now we're finally there. But it definitely doesn't feel that way now for the CRO fam. If you take a look at CoinMarketCap, like we showed you in intro, CRO is down today almost 1%, but also down minus 7% in the last week. So basically, all the altcoins are having fun, and Cronos is not invited to the party. But there are a few different explanations for that, guys, that I want to show in this video. So don't forget to hit the like button and also strap in, of course, for more video. And let's start with the most apparent here, as you can also find on the altcoin season index. Because if you go down below, you can see the top 50 performers in the last 90 days. And here we have Bitcoin in the black. So you can see that basically all the altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin in the last 90 days, with some exceptions. But what are the biggest gainers in the last 90 days? And we can see that Pengu has been the crown prince so far in this last part of the year. But Cronos is a nice second, up about 175% in the last 90 days, mainly thanks to the news regarding the Trump Treasury Company. As mentioned in previous videos, the CRO Treasury Company is not yet live. Because the company is listed on the Nasdaq, it first has to be approved by the SEC, and that can take some time. And therefore, this whole pump from about 15 cents all the way to 39 cents was fueled by a big part of hype and FOMO. So many people that never even heard of CRO before, they bought into the hype. But now they also see that other tokens are moving quite spectacularly as well. For example, Shiba Inu made a big move today. We did see Dogecoin making big moves. So all those speculators are now, again, I do feel, leaving the CRO token. And that's why we're kind of starting to flatline. Maybe 25 cents is the new normal now for CRO. But let's talk a bit more also about some bearish indicators. In the most recent weeks, CRO has been gaining exponentially. And it's also visible here on the relative strength index. You can see that we are just no longer officially overbought. We're still at very high levels if you take a look at the overall history of the relative strength for CRO. So some value investors might be waiting until we are no longer overbought. So maybe some people are waiting here for a retest here of this yellow line before we make an even bigger move into the RSI, guys. Because the RSI is not necessarily a peak indicator, but it does show you when sometimes we are a bit too much hyped. Moreover, if you bring up the 2021 fractal for CRO, you can see we started tracking it very nicely in the beginning. But then, when we got the announcement regarding the Trump Treasury, we got this big parabolic move to the upside. But it does seem it was a bit too immature, yeah. And we're now just trying to flatline until we're back on track here with this fractal that is still expecting us to go upside to new all-time highs later in the year. So just, guys, it might be that we have been overbought, we have been a bit too much hyped, and now we're just going back to earth. We also see some more similarities to 2021, but let's talk about that after the quick word of today's sponsor. Obsidian Finance is one of the best places to make trades on the Cronos chain. For example, from CRO to Robin or from CRO to US dollar, so you can also take some profit this cycle. But next to trading, they offer also a lot of different services. For example, you can farm tokens here on their liquidity pools with WCRO Robin, so you can earn fees but also some additional Robin. Check out Obsidian now in the description down below. Anyways, let's talk some more about why CRO is going down. And I do see a lot of similarities between what happened in September of 2021 and what's happening now in September of this year. You can see here in this picture that during September, we've seen wild swings. Minus 30%, plus 30% in the same month. In the end, September ended with a small plus in 2021. And after that, we saw a big move to the upside. So are we going to see something very similar? Within this box, very big moves up and down. Of course, guys, I don't give any financial advice, but that can definitely happen. So far, we've gone down minus 23%. So if we will follow this box again, we might go down a little bit more. You can see here that if you draw down about minus 30% in September, we might go as low as about 21.2 cents or about 21 cents even in September. And we might still even go higher when we end September, guys. That's something I would say pay close attention to, especially because September will be wild regarding, for example, the Fed rate cut. So on the 17th, there will be the FOMC meeting, and I will be live streaming that, guys. So don't forget to also strap in for that event, because I think we'll see some big moves either to the downside or to the upside, because we don't know, it might even still be a sell the news event. I also want to mention this tweet of mine. CRO pump will start late phase 3. And I still believe, guys, this path to alt season is pretty much correct. So we've seen phase 1 complete. First new all-time high for Bitcoin at about 125k. Then also we saw a new all-time high for Ethereum, phase 2. And I think we're now kind of over here in the middle of phase 2 and phase 3. We have seen the first large caps, like for example, BNB make a new all-time high. When I also see, for example, XRP making new all-time highs, when we see Solana making new all-time highs, I think we'll truly see phase 3. But then we also have phase 4, the alt season. You might still remember that of 2021 when you saw people selling NFTs, or for example, rocks or apes for crazy amounts of money. When things go absolutely vertical, that's the true altcoin season, even though indicators are saying, well, now it's also altcoin season. But this, guys, is not yet the true alt season. I do believe we're still about here. And I personally also think that CRO is one of the last coins to move. And we can also show that to you on the charts, because let's go back again to 2021. When was this final move here? This final move of CRO started to happen near about November of 2021. November of 2021. Remember that timeline, because we were at about 20 cents. And 1 month later, we were at 96 cents. Where was Ethereum on the 1st of November of 2021? Well, we have to zoom, of course, a lot back. But on the 1st of November of 2021, we did see that already Ethereum was very close to the all-time high. This, guys, was Ethereum on the 1st of November at about $4,000. $4,000, the peak was at about 4,900. So even though that CRO was just getting started, Ethereum was already creeping towards the end. And therefore, I think it's really important to sometimes remind yourself of the path to alt season and when we will see big moves for CRO, because there are times for Ethereum, times for Bitcoin, times for Solana, and also times for CRO and other altcoins. With that in mind, though, does that mean that CRO will continue going down in the short term? And unfortunately, guys, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't tell you for certain. What we do see on the charts, though, is that CRO has gone down below the 21-day simple moving average, and it's getting very close to the previous low that CRO set before the news regarding Truth Social. So it might be heading towards the 50-day, and the 50-day, of course, is also moving up, but unfortunately, it is yet too soon to tell. One of the indicators I'm watching for potential reversal is the daily RSI. And you can see the RSI is still above the neutral zone here. Sometimes we do see a reversal at about the neutral zone at level 50. But also I'm looking for the MACD. The MACD here is not yet pointed towards any signs of a reversal. So when it goes into here, the light green or the light red, it means reversals coming. So far, no sign yet of that reversal. But when it comes, guys, I will, of course, be sharing that with you guys here on the channel. So stay tuned. Personally, I'm a long-term value investor, so I don't really mind those short-term swings going to the downside or to the upside. But of course, it's more fun to see your backs go up than down. But let me know what you're seeing on the charts, guys. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you thinking about selling? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, again, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. And also watch this video here about CRO.